Okay, in terms of what phase we're at for this renovation, we've had some estimates done to rip everything out and have pavers put in. And we've also had a tree guy come to talk about
Trimming back some of these trees.
trimming back the trees, potentially moving back trees to expand the space, and then also laying topsoil to make the ground more even. Next one. If you have kids, what do your kids think of the renovation? Do you want to?
I think the kids will be very excited about the finished product. They like playing back here, and having some more space would be great. If we could level the yard a little bit, it could make things better too. Right now, when we play t-ball or something, all the bases are kind of on top of each other. It's not that challenging.
It's not that spacious. And if we had a swing set, I think they'd be so excited about it. They love to go on the swings and slides.
Yeah.
What type of project manager you would be, and how would you work with the construction crew? Okay. What type of project manager would we be? Well, I think that, I don't know if Jesse would agree, I would feel like I was taking the lead as the project manager because while Jesse's at work every day, I'm the one here overseeing all the contractors and things that are going on. So I am pretty intense in terms of, making sure that everything is going according to plan.
Lori likes things done a certain way. If you veer off that path, you'll hear about it. Believe me.
Right. Because the right way is the way that was previously agreed to and discussed, and it should continue on that path, and we don't want to have any problems later down the road. So I would work well with the construction crews as long as we can.
She's in charge.
Well, and as long as we continued to be on the page which was agreed to at the beginning, and we weren't running behind schedule, and we weren't coming up against other challenges that couldn't be addressed. Right. And I'd call Jesse probably 10,000 times during the day to tell him how annoyed I was about the project and him, and maybe hang up a couple times and yell.
Yeah, I definitely take some heat over the phone, but
it would be worth it in the end, right?
Sure.
Okay, good. What are our pet peeves? Well, I think I just talked about my pet peeves would be if they weren't working on time, if they were diverging from the plan, if things weren't working out well.
My pet peeves? When Lori gets upset, I get upset, because if she's not happy, nobody's happy.
That's nice. Thanks.
So, gotta keep wifey happy.
Thanks, Jess. Okay. Okay, the next thing. What are we afraid the renovation will do to us as a couple? I think, I'm not too nervous about what the renovation would do to us as a couple. I mean, we've been married for 9 years and been together for 13. And while we're not the most lovey-dovey couple, I think that we have our own way of communicating. And even though I might scream at Jesse a few million times as the renovation is taking place and frustrating me, I think we'd come out okay. Do you?
Yeah, I don't think our relationship's on any rocky ground in terms of getting into this renovation. We can handle it.
Okay. Some of the challenges that we face in this renovation are major. I mean, first of all, the budget. It's an expensive investment, so we'd want to make sure that it was done professionally, that it was going to be for the long term, and that it really was going to be worth our time and money. The second thing is we'd want to make sure that we were running up against a good time frame, because it's sad. The weather's finally getting nice, and we'd love to be able to have our backyard so the girls can play and have play dates and play groups, and we have friends over, and we like to barbecue during the summer, and the girls eat ices and fruit and stuff. And without having the backyard for a month or so, it'd be a real challenge.
And you said you wanted to host Mother's Day here?
Right. I said I was going to host Mother's Day here, which I forgot about. So we'd have to renege on that invitation, I guess, and send people elsewhere. It'd be a lot of elsewhere kind of stuff. Like, instead of playing in the backyard, I'd have to take the girls to the park, which is a drive. And, we'd have to play on the front lawn, which, is nice too, but not as private as the backyard.
It's not big.
And, the front yard's not so big either. But I guess we'd get through it again if it was worth it at the end.
Yeah.
tell you the most important thing. One of the other challenges that I want to mention is that we're up against a deadline because our younger daughter is turning 2 in the summertime, and we've already been telling friends and family that we're going to have a backyard make your own Sunday party for her birthday. So we've been telling friends and family, and we're going to have watermelon and sundaes, and it's going to be this great party with outdoor activities. And everybody's kind of holding the date, and if we don't have a backyard, then we don't have a party, and we wouldn't want to do that.
That's a real problem.
Yeah.
So we'd like to get.
We need to start it and get it done.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. Now, with me here, talk about how I have a hard time letting you handle things, and that I'm the micromanager.
Lori is, she likes to be in control of the situation. She doesn't, easily give up that control. She likes to outsource every job, be it picture hanging. She just doesn't trust me to do anything. She doesn't think I'm handy enough to handle anything. While clearly I couldn't do this backyard on my own, and I would hire somebody to help me with it, but she just doesn't trust me to do anything, and she thinks I've got to hire a professional for everything. So.
Okay. Let's see. I would have a hard time letting this go and leaving a lot up to Jesse because we've had some incidences in the past. My first example is that before I met Jesse, I'd been living in the city and bought this antique mirror for myself that I absolutely loved, and it hung in my apartment for 4 years, no problem. And then he and I moved in together, and he hung it in our new apartment, and I don't know, what was it, the next night or so?
No, it was up for like a good
week.
month.
Whatever it was, I'll just say that the antique mirror came crashing to the floor. It sounded like a gunshot. It was so scary. And I was devastated. This antique mirror with the warped glass and everything that I had bought myself was on the floor, shattered in a million pieces.
I'd like to say that it probably has something to do with the cheap walls in this apartment, not so much my picture hanging skills.
Okay. The other example I can think of is when the girls got pen on our leather couch, and Jesse took it upon himself to clean it with, I think it was nail polish.
It was rubbing alcohol, and I read online that was the tip I found.
No, it said don't use alcohol, not do. People said it discolored it. Regardless, I think
Not
he's
everybody
really
said
smart, but I think that we need to leave this to the professionals.
I'm not against hiring a professional. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I got 2 hands. I'm willing to get them dirty.
Okay. The next thing is, we just want to say also, if we're going to be spending money and making this renovation, we just want to make sure that it's done right the first time.
Yeah.
Although, my dad has given you many, many, many tools over the years. Maybe you could put some of them to the use.
I'd love to.
Okay.
One thing, to go back to some of the construction challenges, concerns me a bit is pulling out this concrete slab. It's kind of attached to the foundation of the house, and I want to make sure it's done the right way and not affects the house at all, because that's major. So it's really important that the professional does it the right way.
Right. Okay. Answer the following in separate interviews.
Julie, push the red button for us, please.
Here, I'll go. No, it's okay.
I'll do it, Mommy.
Okay. Press.